Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me. In this video, we're going to cover the sit to stand exercise, a really awesome exercise to practice coming up and down from a chair without using the support from our arms. I'm going to use a looped band. Well, it's just a long band that's been tied in a knot, and it's really helpful, especially if your knees are prone to collapse in. You don't have to use the band, you can do the exercise without. All right, so if you're using a band, you're going to loop it around both legs and scooch it up so it's just on the top of your thighs. I'm going to face sideways so you can see my back position. So my hips are about midway on the chair. This chair is a little low, so if this is the first time you're practicing this exercise, you might want to sit on a little higher chair, which makes the exercise a little bit easier. I'm going to have my feet to start with parallel. I'm going to open my band a little bit to feel the work in my hips. I'm going to start by resting your hands on your lap and finding your sit bones. So we're going to rock to one side and then the other. Going on to one bum cheek and then the other. And then make it smaller. So our sitting bones are right on the bottom of our pelvis. And we're just tipping from one side to the other. And then make the rocking even smaller until you arrive in the center of your sit bones. And then I'm just going to place my hands on the hips. I'm going to keep the back long and we're going to hinge forward and hinge back on our sit bones. So I'm keeping the back straight. My tummy muscles are gently drawing up and in and back. So shoulders relaxed, chin slightly tucked in. So it's very much like our hip hinge when we come up to stand and we do our squat position. One more. And back on our sit bones. Now we're going to bring our feet a little closer towards the chair. So we know when we come up to stand, we got good base of support from our feet. All right, so I'm going to bring my hands in front of me. I'm going to open the band slightly with the legs, hinge forward. Now push into your feet and come up all the way if you can to stand. Bringing the hips above the thighs. Stay there for a moment and then you're going to hinge your hips back, find your chair, come back down. Hinge, stand strong, hinge and down. And all the time I'm trying to keep that tension into the band, avoiding my knees collapsing in. Great to do this every day, especially around Christmas when we tend to sit a lot. So if you watch a Christmas movie, come up to stand, go back down in your chair and then come back up to stand again 10 times and then go about the day. All right, so when we've done enough of those, we're going to bring our right foot forward and left foot back. So I'm in a staggered position with my feet. I'm going to lift my heel up a little bit. So I'm going to weight bear on the foot closest to me. This is a little bit more tricky. So we're going to hinge forward, push into that supporting leg. So you're going to feel that glute. Hinge, come down. Now, if you feel that you want to work this, but you're still, I don't know, bring your hands down and push up that way. Hinge and down. So you can use a little bit of support with those arms and watch that knee is not collapsing in. Up and down. Up and down. One more. Up and down. And then swapsy sides. Bring the other leg close to you, flat to the floor, front heel slightly lifted. Hinge forward, press up, hinge down. And you may experience a feeling of one stronger side than the other. It's very common. We press up. You want to do the same amount of repetitions on each side, but maybe start with a side you feel needs more work, and down. So again, aim for 10 repetitions on each side, maybe more if you feel up for it. And down. Okay, so we're going to finish in a little stretch, but that's your sit to stand. Going to wiggle off the band. I'm just going to bring my chair to face you guys. Okay, so coming to sit, we're going to stretch out our hips. So again, if you've been sitting for quite a while and you need to stretch, this is a great one to do. So we're going to bring our hips forward on the chair. Going to turn to one side and place your foot flat on the ground. So I'm just on my inside hip. I'm going to hold the back of the chair, other hand on your hips, and you're going to slide the back leg back a little bit. We're aiming for that hip to lengthen, thigh to lengthen, knee to lengthen. So tuck your bottom just a wee bit, and that makes all the difference in the stretch. We lengthen the spine and breathe. You can always make an adjustment if you want to go a bit further back with the back leg, but make sure you keep that lift of the front hip. So we're not collapsing into the lower back. We lengthen and breathe. And then you can add in a little side bend. So you're going to take your arm forward and up by your ear, and you can tip over to the chair and come back up. Tip over to the chair, come back up. Tip over to the chair and come back up. And then slide your back leg in, and we scooch around to the other side. One hip, your inside hip on the chair, foot is nice and flat. I got my other hip off the chair, and we slide the knee. So position the knee so it's reaching down, the thigh is reaching down, curling that tail just a little bit, finding that stretch, and lengthen your spine. Breathing in deeply through the nostrils and out through the mouth. And then if you like, reach the arm, over side bend, and up, and over, and up, and over, and up, and slide the leg in, and come back into your center. And that's it. Thanks guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon.